Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. I had two shops prior to this one, and in this video I'm going to take you through and show you those two shops and how I've progressed through the two shops into this one. So let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's get started. For the last few years while I was in college, I lived just off campus in a house with 3 roommates. I started off in the garage, but I eventually expanded into the basement of the house. In the summer of 2008, I started getting into woodworking, so I built a workbench. I didn't have many tools when I built it. I used a drill and a circular saw that I borrowed from one of my roommates. Shortly after I built the bench, I picked up a used miter saw for $40. The first project I was working on was stripping, repairing, and refinishing a hutch that was long forgotten in the basement of the house. I had to replace one of the sides, so I picked up a router. I used the router for all of my joinery back then. This is how I used to make rabbets, with a straight bit and a straight edge. A year later, in the fall of 2009, I added a small bandsaw and was still working in the garage. As it started to get colder out, I moved most of my shop into the basement. I added a drill press and a small router table to my setup. Shortly after came the oscillating spindle sander and the lathe. Occasionally my shop helper would stop by. Hi, my name is Matt and welcome to my workshop. In the fall of 2010, I moved to a new house with a 2-car garage that became my next shop. Here's how the shop first looked when I moved in. This was also when I bought my first load of rough cut lumber. Hey Mom! That fall I added a bandsaw, a dust collector, a mortiser, and Lindsay bought me a drum sander. It's here, and I came in 2 boxes, and there's the trunk. There's the boxes. Here they are. That's a very exciting day. This is the drum sander. It's really heavy. I had a kerosene heater in the shop, but I thought it'd be nice to be able to do some work in the basement of the house so I didn't have to heat the whole shop. So I built a bench out of 2x4s in the basement. I used a hand plane to level the boards and then ran the whole top through the drum sander to flatten it. This box here was my first dovetail project. It was hand cut through dovetails with miters on the top. I had 2 electrical circuits in the shop. The dust collector was connected to one of them and the other would rotate between the tools with an extension cord. I don't miss having to swap plugs every single time I want to use a machine. In the late spring, I started building my router table. Lindsay was in town this weekend and helped me glue up the fence. In the background you can kind of see my lumber rack, which was just a platform above my dust collector. And there is a sort of completed router table. The base still remains incomplete to this day. Here are some shots of the shop from around the same time, right before I moved. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my old shops and how it's kind of progressed into this point. This is part of a 3-part series that I'm doing on my shop. The other 2 are about setting up this shop and an actual shop tour of this shop. If you're interested in taking a look at either of those 2, links are on the screen or in the description. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about my old shops or anything here in my current shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I appreciate those, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.